All right, moving over to the running back position. James Robinson gets the Houston Texans, so we got to start him, right?
Yeah, this is a dream matchup. And Robinson was bad last week, but it was really his first bad stat line all season long. 2.9 points against the Eagles, but that's the Eagles. Houston's brutal. I mean, they have been smashed by running backs. 6 total touchdowns allowed, 32.8 fantasy points per game allowed to running backs. That's the most in the National Football League. James Robinson should be in your starting lineup. And so should Damian Harris. Like, I know we're not talking much about the Patriots because their offense is just not very good, but he has quietly put together 3 pretty good games. And I like him as a flex starter this week against the Lions. They've given up an average of over 30 fantasy points per game, the running backs. They just got boat raced by Rashad Penny last week. So Harris and Ramondre Stevenson, both good options for fantasy managers who need a flex.
Now, it's not like there are a lot of running backs out there right now that are performing really well, but you do have a few that we should sit if we're able.
Yeah, and Zeke Elliott, he's been to sit him almost every week. And unfortunately, he's only had one good week all season long. Last week, it was not very good. He scored fewer than 11 fantasy points in 3 of 4 games. He's got the Rams this week. They've allowed 1 touchdown and the fewest fantasy points to running backs this season. I just can't trust Zeke right now unless I'm desperate for a flex. And then let's stay with another NFC East running back, and that's Antonio Gibson. Now, we heard reports this week that Brian Robinson's been cleared to practice. Whether or not he plays this week, we're unsure of that. But if he does play, that means a smaller touch share for Antonio Gibson. Even if Robinson is inactive this week, Gibson is still a guy that I don't trust as more than a flex. His numbers have been declining. His snap share has been declining. His touch share is declining. And Jen, his value obviously declining as well.